What's up, hook setters? Thank y'all for tuning in. Today my plan is to walk you guys through how to tie your line correctly to baits containing split rings. There's a correct way and an incorrect way to do that. So today I plan on showing you guys how to tie correctly to preserve your baits, keep you from getting broke off, and get the longevity out of the baits that you guys purchase on a daily basis. Stay tuned.
The mechanics.
What's up, guys? So I want to first off by saying I apologize for the lighting. I hope it's bright enough in here. My plan originally was to do this and do it outside, but Mother Nature threw us some rain today that was so unexpected. So I'm in a garage. I have all the lights on that I can, so hopefully you guys can see this. But this video is going to be short and simple. Just something that I know is not talked about enough when it comes to the split rings on certain baits. And it should be, because it's a big deal, and I know a lot of people may not think about it, but it'll make sense like once you kind of dig into it. Anyway, certain baits have split rings. And before I get started, there's two types of split rings. There's an oval split and there's a circle split. This tutorial is mainly going to go through the circle split because the oval split are pretty safe with what I'm going to talk about as far as what not to do. So this one here has kind of an oval split. It's more like a squarish or oval. It's not really a circle. And I hope you guys can see it. On the side here is where the opening is. But when your line is tied onto it, it's going to be here, so it's away from the opening. So these are pretty safe. Anytime you fish with these are pretty safe because you're pulling from the front of the bait and you're not in that opening. So if you have an oval or kind of a square split ring, disregard any of this. So I have two tied on. I have the incorrect way to tie it, one tied on incorrectly and one tied on correctly. Like I say, this is going to go to your crankbaits, your lipless crankbaits, your big swim baits, your jerk baits. All of those have old split rings, and you need to be careful how you tie your line onto those. So first I have this one, actually let me do this one. I have this one tied on correctly. If you look, this one is tied on, and it's tied on away from where the opening is. So the opening is here, and the opening, once I finish tying it, is hooked onto the nose of the bait. That's where you want the opening. You want that opening moving on here. You don't want your line where the opening is. So make sure you tie the opposite side. Whatever knot you tie, I like to tie a Palomar knot like 98% of the time. But make sure you tie your knot on the opposite end of the opening on your crankbaits or whatever bait you may be using with a split ring. So that's the correct way. Make sure you're doing that. And I'm going to show you the incorrect way and the reason why. The incorrect way is if you tie your knot where the opening is. And like I said, the opening is for sometimes your split rings get rusted, but you'll have a good bait. So you just want to, they give you a way where you can open it up and slide the split ring off and just put on another one. You know, if you get rusted out, or same with the hooks. They have split rings so you can replace your hooks and stuff like that. Now, the reason why you don't want to tie it there is these baits, majority of their time, are made to react. They're reacting, they're swimming, they're jerking, they're, jerk baits. You jerk it, and that whole time, your line is in the middle. Mind you, they're made to dive deep, they're made to bounce off of stuff, rock and bottom, and as you do that, your line is in the middle and it's going back and forth between the split ring. If you catch a fish and you're fighting, when he goes left, right, and he's moving, that line is in the middle of those split rings, and the whole time that split ring, where it's pretty sharp, is digging into your line. So I don't know if it's ever happened to any of you guys, but there's been times I have a fish I break off and I can't understand what happened, but I'll come back and I'll have like a little bit of my knot still there, but the bait will be gone. That's because it was digging into my split ring as I was fighting a fish. I'm not going to say a nice sized fish, but anytime you're fighting a fish, you don't want that digging into your line. So going forward, make sure you guys tie that line to the opposite side of the opening of your split ring, and I think that'll keep you guys from losing a lot of baits or keeping that from digging into your line. So that was it. I just wanted to give a tutorial. It was something that I probably should have mentioned a long time ago. I found this out like a couple of years ago, and ever since I've done it, I've had so much more success catching fish on baits, you know, with the split rings. So I thank y'all for tuning in. Until next time, hook setters, set hooks, tie lines.